Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Buffalo Bills 25-20 in London. The Jags are now a 2-0 football team in London. And this was a game that I didn't expect the Jags to come in and win. The Jags had been playing not the best football. When they beat the Falcons, I'm like, okay, I trusted them for a rebound there. They're a better team than the Falcons. Didn't really trust Atlanta. But to beat the Buffalo Bills, who just beat maybe the best team or second best team in the NFL in the Miami Dolphins, by the way they did, by 28, to go and lose 25-20. And it's kind of getting back to the point of, are the Buffalo Bills showing us these fraudulent characteristics again? Are the Buffalo Bills potentially frauds? Because they blow out the Commanders, they blow out the Raiders. We've seen them beat the Dolphins, all bad defenses, arguably the 3 worst defenses in the NFL, next to the Chicago Bears. Blow it against the Jets, losing 25-20 against the Jaguars. And the Jaguars are a team that are still building. You should have won that Jets game. I get it. High emotion. Aaron Rodgers goes out. It was just maybe meant for the Jets to win that game. But realistically, you should have won it. You shouldn't be sitting here in 3-2. And we've seen the Bills year over year over year blow out bad team, blow out bad team, blow out bad team, maybe even blow out a good team. But then they turn around and just put up a head scratcher like this. And I get it. We just got out of September, early October. 5 weeks of the season have unfolded. But you have to be real about what the Buffalo Bills are continuing to show year over year over year. There's a couple of plays from both teams here that I really liked what they showed us in this football game. There's a 3rd and 1 scramble with 2.5 minutes to go in the second. I thought it was really nice by Josh Allen. He capped it off with that perfect 2-minute drill to Stephon Diggs. Josh was very, very sharp in this game and really sharp on that drive. He even had a batted pass on 2nd and 11 in the beginning of the third, which I thought was a pretty good play. I believe they had that on Trevor Lawrence when the Jags were deep in their own territory, and the Bills did a good job between defense and special teams at putting Jacksonville deep in their own territory as well. Josh Allen, 65-yard flick on 1st and 10 with about 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. Absolutely insane. True testament to what he's capable of. He had the clutch turnover in the fourth quarter with the fumble on Trevor Lawrence. And what a play by Josh Allen on the touchdown pass with 4 minutes to go. And he had a ton of big throws in this game. I mean, it felt like Josh was not loading up to throw huge. It looks like it's just, maybe 25-yard pass. There it goes, 55, 65 yards down the field. Just flick of the wrist. Josh Allen is an absolute monster. But at the end of the day, Buffalo had no answer for Travis Etienne. They had no answer for Trevor Lawrence. And this was really kind of the Clemson show, a reuniting of these teammates really balling out in this football game for the Jaguars. Now, they scored 13 points in the fourth quarter, which, of course, was too little, too late. But the Jaguars bent. They didn't break in this football game, though. And we've seen that be a rhythm of them time and time again in the NFL season. Josh Allen, 27 of 40 for 359 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Stephon Diggs had 8 catches for 121 yards and a touchdown. Gabe Davis, who continues to sit on my fantasy bench like an idiot. I don't even need to play fantasy anymore. Gabe Davis caught 6 passes for 100 yards and a touchdown. Buffalo, though, had just 29 yards rushing in total. And that's what hurt them. When I look back originally at the box score after this game was over, I was like, damn, Buffalo did not run the ball. And Josh Allen, again, was their leading rusher. The Bills are slowly moving out of this whole narrative of, oh, the Bills can't run the football. It's just Josh Allen, this and that and this and that. 1, you probably wish you would have kept Zach Moss. 2, I respect what's happening with James Cook, and he's going to continue to get implemented more. But I think it just still goes back to that weapon that Buffalo still needs. Gabe Davis is having a good year. I think a lot of people expected Gabe Davis to have this year last year. He didn't. Now he's busting out this year. A couple great games so far. I want to get some prayers up for Matt Milano. He goes out injured in this game. Major loss for them. It seems like the injuries are piling up as they just lose Trey White as well. But thankfully, Von Miller is going to be getting back. And the Bills should not have lost this football game. They shouldn't have. They fought to the end. They fought to the very end of this game. But when it came down to it, unfortunately, they didn't get it done. Now, the Jags had some solid plays in this game as well. Again, credit them, back-to-back wins in London. They're really starting to come to life. They escaped this game with 2 turnovers. The 2-point conversion pitch was really beautiful to Travis Etienne in the first quarter of the game. You got Trevor Lawrence throwing on a 3rd and 11 right after the batted pass that I just talked about earlier, deep in their own territory by Buffalo. Trevor Lawrence throws a nice 3rd and 11 to get the first down. And a really nice interception on Josh Allen's bomb thrown inside the 10 in the fourth quarter. That really was able to seal the game and put it away. And overall, just a great defensive play call by the Jags and way to track the ball and reel it in. Trevor Lawrence with the scramble drill and the conversion on the offsides by Buffalo that was called in the game. Very elite play by Trevor Lawrence. The roughing the passer call on quarterback Josh Allen by defensive lineman Josh Allen, I understood that call. He hit him up high. You saw the helmet pop back. You saw the helmets collide on camera. I didn't really think that was much to really go over. But what a clutch turnover to end the football game in terms of the fumble. Super clutch turnover to end this football game for the Jags. And again, that defense stepping up, bending, but not breaking. Trevor Lawrence on the game is 25 of 37, 315 yards and a tub. Travis Etienne rushed for 136 yards and 2 tubs. Calvin Ridley got back on track with a big performance in this game, leading all receivers, 122 yards on 7 catches. And the Jaguars were 10 for 18 on third down. 10 for 18 on third down against that Bills defense that, yes, did lose Matt Milano. They don't have Trey White walking into the football game, which is very unfortunate. But the Bills in this game, I mean, I feel like they had a lot of chances to win. But when the Jags step up the way that they do, or maybe not a lot of chances, but chances to win the game. And when the Jags step up the way that they do, I think the Jags really deserve to win this football game. And it's kind of a thing of, do the Jags have the Bills number? I kind of think they do. They're the only team to upset Josh Allen twice as an underdog of 5 or more points. You see the secondary didn't allow a lot of explosive plays in the first half, really forcing Josh Allen to play a lot of underneath things early. And then overall for the Jags offense, they're able to orchestrate those long drives and really keep the ball away from Buffalo, keep the ball more in their court, and go on and win a great football game. You know, whether it was Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley, Jacksonville's weapons really popped when it mattered a lot. And the Bills did have those back-to-back touchdown drives in the fourth to really reel them back into the game. But overall, when it comes down to, you know, the turnovers that they were able to force on Josh Allen and the Bills, that's really why the Jags defense stepped up big and was able to make this game, you know, really turn out the way it did. And the fact that the Bills had won 3 straight by 28 plus points, doing what they did to the Dolphins. We saw the other games that they played in, blowing out the Commanders, blowing out the Raiders. Again, not very impressed with them. But you got to feel for Buffalo at the end of the day, despite everything that they're going through with the wins, with the losses. Not having Matt Milano and Trey White is going to be a major thing that could possibly hold them back from the Super Bowl when you talk about what the defense in the AFC is actually going to have to do, is actually going to have to become. But I'm grateful the Jags got back on track. I didn't want them to get back on track necessarily, as my Saints go in on next Thursday and play off a short week against the Jaguars. Again, I'll be there. Darby, if you're watching the show, I'm so pumped to go. Thursday Night Football in the Dome, 7:15 New Orleans time. We'll be leaving probably about 10 o'clock in the morning to get down there, catch the Airbnb, and we're going to be living it up down in New Orleans for the game. But I'm glad that the Jags get it together. I think this is a team that can play. I know this is a team that can play a lot better than what they realistically are at the moment. And the Buffalo Bills, we got to ask the question of if they're starting to be fraudulent already. Are they turning out as frauds, possibly blowing out teams, 3 straight wins of 28 plus point games, and you're losing to a team like the Jags who's trying to get it back on track? Travis Etienne with the most yards, 3rd most yards ever in an international game. Another fun stat there that I wanted to throw in. Jags beat the Bills 25-20. And I want to hear from the Jags fans and the Bills fans down in the comments. Let me know what y'all thought about the game overall. What are you expecting from these teams next?